Good morning.
Good morning.
What is your name and where are you from?
What was it like for you in Philadelphia?
What's your name and where are you from?
My first question for you is where were you born?
¿Dónde tú naciste?
Gonna be hard.
No, most of them aren't hard at all, and we'll just take whatever you got for us. So, what is your name and where are you from?
I'm Barbara Miller. And where am I from?
Yeah.
I'm from here, this neck of the woods.
Have you always lived here?
Pretty much. I was a West York person for so many years, but now I'm Spring Grove.
Nice. Where did you grow up and what was it like when you grew up?
Where did I grow up? Did you ever hear of the Brogue? I was there for about 6 years and then my parents moved to Spring Grove.
What was it like, difference from now? You see kids growing up. How is it different when you grew up?
I didn't have television. And I didn't do all these wild things that you guys do now.
That's funny. How have you, in general, how have you seen different things change, society change from then until now? Other than technology, is there any difference?
You get away with a lot more now than you did when I was young. You know, the teacher said no, it was no. Or if your mom or dad said, you can't do that, no, didn't do it.
That has changed, it seems. What world event do you think impacted you the most, and how did it impact you?
What did you say? Read that in. Do that again.
What world event impacted you the most?
Lordy. I don't know. Maybe the presidential things, I don't know. The things they did then and what goes on now.
And what career did you pursue and why? Would you do it again?
When I graduated from high school, I became a secretary after school, worked in the office for quite a few years. And would I do it again? Yeah, because when kids were sent to the office, I'd kind of be their rescue. I'd help them.
That's neat. Is there any particular story you remember the most about helping a kid while you were a secretary?
Oh my, there were many stories, but nah, I just that I kind of took up for the kids, you know.
That's neat. And what advice would you give to someone growing up today or your younger self if you could talk to them?
What advice? Okay. I got all these grandkids, and do I give them advice? Yeah, don't do that. You'll get in trouble. I don't know. Just do what you think is right.
What's your name?
¿Cuál es tu
My name
nombre?
is Angela Taveras de Rodríguez,
Where were you from?
¿De dónde tú eres?
Santo Dominicana República.
What was it like when you were a kid?
¿Qué cómo era cuando usted era niña? Más o menos su vida diaria.
Mi vida, una niña de escasos recursos.
She was a girl with shortage of cash. They didn't have too much money when she was growing up.
Did you like when you were a kid?
¿Te gustaba cuando eras niña?
¿Es que?
Tú que si te gustaba cuando eras niña.
Sí, que no había de otra.
She said there was no other way, so she was happy with it.
Did you like school when you were a kid?
Que si tú ibas a la escuela cuando pequeña.
Fui poco a la escuela.
¿A qué grado? ¿Qué grado?
Yo ni me acuerdo. Yo nada
She
más
said she went to
yo nada
school
más
just
sé-
for a couple of years. She don't even remember what grade she was.
nada más sé leer y escribir.
She knows write and to read. She knows that, but she don't remember what grade she was.
Did you have a favorite sport?
Que si usted tiene algún deporte favorito. ¿Usted jugaba deporte cuando niña o algo?
No.
No jugaba con nada.
Sí, yo jugaba con las otras amiguitas,
She used to play with her friends.
como toda muchacha.
Yeah, like every other kid.
Did you make a lot of friends?
Que si tú tenías muchos amigos.
Sí,
Yes.
If you could go back in time and tell your younger self advice, what would you say?
Que si tú volvieras a ser joven, adolescente, ¿qué tú le dirías a la juventud de hoy?
bueno, a la juventud de hoy, que tenga más respeto para la humanidad, que hagan caso de lo que los mayores le dicen y que estudien, que los estudios son lo que llevan a la gente al progreso.
She said that she will tell the younger kids that to behave and listen to the older people, to respect them, and that to go to school and study, and that's the only way you're going to get ahead of life.
Did you have a dream job?
Que si tú tú sueñas con algún trabajo cuando eras joven, algo que te gustaría hacer.
Bueno, yo soy modista y hubiera haber llegado más como a estudiar eso, pero no me dio mi cosa, pero yo era modista.
She says that when she was younger, she used to make clothes. And her dream was to get to be big doing clothes.
Did you have any chores on when you were a kid around the house?
Que si a ti te ponían a hacer cosas en la casa.
Sí.
Yes.
What were
¿Cuáles
the
eran
chores?
qué te ponían a hacer?
A fregar, a trapear, a ayudar a lavar.
Help washing clothes, do the dishes, and mop the floor.
Did you have any siblings?
Que si tú tienes hermanos.
Sí.
Yes.
Do you,
¿Cuántos hermanos tienes?
Bueno, me quedan 3 hermanas.
She got 3
Los-
sisters.
Porque tenía 3 varones y murieron.
She had 3 brothers, but they died.
I'm sorry about that. Do you know, what was your best friend?
¿Quién era tu mejor amigo
Mi mejor amigo,
o amiga?
mi amiga,
Mhm.
bueno, habían unas cuantas.
She said she had a couple of friends.
Did you have a favorite one?
Pero que si tú tenías una que era favorita para ti, más especial.
Sí,
Yes.
Do
¿Cómo
you
se
know-
llamaba?
Nélcida.
¿Cómo?
Nélcida.
Her name was Nelsida. That was her best friend.
What did you and Nelsie do? What were the favorite things?
¿Qué ustedes dos hacían cuando estaban juntas?
Cosíamos las dos.
Oh, they were seamstress.
Oh, did you like being a seamstress?
Yes, that's what she said. She wanted it to be, a big person when she was seamstress. But I guess the way of cash and stuff like that wasn't possible for her.
When you and your best friend were seamstresses, did you feel like you weren't doing a lot?
Que si cuando tú y tu amiga cosían, hacían muchas cosas.
Sí,
Yes,
mucho trabajo.
a lot of work, she said.
Okay.
Ask her what it was like when she first came to America.
What was it like when you first came to America?
¿Cómo te pareció cuando viniste aquí a los Estados Unidos? ¿Qué experiencia tuviste?
Bueno,
She said, good experience coming here.
Were you scared?
Que si tenías miedo.
no.
No.
How old were you when you came to
¿Qué
America?
edad tú tenías cuando viniste aquí?
Yo tenía como menos de 60, no me acuerdo bien.
Not even 60. She don't remember quite how old she was.
What is your name and where are you My name's Genevieve Reed, and I live right here in Spring Grove now.
Tell me where you grew up and what was it like when you were a child?
I grew up in about 3 different places. I was born in Michigan, moved to Norfolk when my father was in World War II. Then he was assigned to Baltimore, so I lived there. And then we moved to New Jersey, where I did most of my growing up, from kindergarten all through the days that I were married, had children, even grandchildren, till my husband retired from his job. So I grew up in different places, but mainly in New Jersey, in the country, where the house was surrounded all by cornfields, and the cows outnumbered the people 2-to-1, because it was a large dairy outfit that shipped milk out, bottled and everything. And it was quite an interesting experience. I even went to a school that only had 4 rooms. There was 2 classes in each room. That's how small this area was. Not anymore, because all the New York City people have moved into that area. What else would you like to know about me growing up?
What was it like having your father be a veteran?
Dad didn't really talk. He was upset because when he joined the Navy, he wanted to sail on the oceans, because he used to sail on the Great Lakes on the ore ships. So he was a little upset that he didn't get to do that. They had him teaching diesel mechanics, which was his thing, was automotive repair. So he never got to do that. But he never really spoke about it because he didn't really go into the action side of World War II.
Did you have a nickname when you were young?
No, I was always called Genevieve. I tried to get Jenny, and my husband's the one that gave me the nickname of Jen, so I've been using Jen. It's just easier with all the E's and the V's.
Did you ever play an instrument?
I played 2 instruments. I played the saxophone, and then I took piano lessons from the time I was about 8 years old all the way through I was 15.
Which one would you say you were better at?
The piano. Much better at the piano.
Did you enjoy playing the piano or the trumpet?
Just the piano. I ditched that saxophone.
What was your favorite food growing up, and is it still the same?
Favorite food growing up? Well, whatever mother served was food. And we had oatmeal for breakfast. It was oatmeal, raisin bran, grape nuts. There was none of the sugary cereals. And it was always meat, potatoes, and vegetables. My husband grew up with salads. I didn't. And meals, like at Christmas and Thanksgiving, we would have special things that we never got during the rest of the year, like Waldorf salad, which is an apple and raisin and walnuts mixed in, or scalloped corn. We wouldn't have that during the year. So.
What was your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Would you?
No, and my Christmas is not like the kids' Christmas today. You got one toy, and it was like one time I just got my dollhouse with the furniture. And your Christmas stocking, you got an apple, an orange, walnuts, if you were lucky, a candy cane. The candy canes were put on the tree by Santa Claus.
What world event do you feel impacted you the most, and how did it impact your life?
There's so many world events that happened in my lifetime. I can talk about the Vietnam War that I didn't protest against because I was married with children, but I didn't think we needed to be there because they did not attack us. So now I can feel like I can say that to a veteran of the Vietnam War and they're not offended because I had little children and they will tell you the same. Why was I there? There was too many, and maybe the assassination of JFK, because saw that. I remember exactly what I was doing that day, like everybody else. I picked up my little boy, set him on his lap, and we did nothing but watch TV, I think, for an entire week. You just fixed meals and ate in front of the TV because everything was going on. I saw the women's lib movement come in. Women did not have the equality back then. You became a nurse, a secretary, a teacher, bookkeeper. In fact, when I went to college the first time back in 1960, because I graduated high school in 1960, I went to a school in New York City and I met the first girl who was going to be an engineer. You always think of boys being an engineer, and she was going through engineering school. And I thought, wow. But there was other ones that were taking art. It was a very progressive school that I went to. It was Pratt Institute, which was mainly back then an art school. But I majored in professional foods because I wanted to become a therapeutic dietitian, which is now called just a nutritionist. But back then, a therapeutic dietitian gave you the diets for ulcers, diabetes, celiac disease. So and I was fortunate. I left after 1 year because I met my husband, of course, wanted to get married. But I worked in that field for a time. Then, I don't know if you're going to ask me, I'm just going to tell you. From there, after I raised my children up to a certain age, I went into banking. I worked temporary for a while, went into banking and stayed there for 7.5 years. And I left banking after 7.5 years because they wouldn't give a lady $300 to buy a dryer. And I knew that she would eat cat food and pay that loan off, and the bank said no. I said, it's getting very hard to turn this key in this bank. And they all came to me, Jen, won't you stay? I said, no, I've got to move on. So after that, I worked for a major corporation doing corporate taxes, accounts receivable. At the end, like in 48, when I was 48 years old, I decided it was time to go back to college because of an incident that happened at the corporate level. A woman had lost her baby to SIDS, so I went to funeral service and got my license in New Jersey as a funeral director. So I went back, I graduated from college when I was 50, and mortuary school, we called it funeral service, for a year. Then I got my funeral certificate. Then I had to sit for national boards and the state exam, which was a practical exam and a written exam. And while I was in college, I became Student of the Year for the business department because that was who handled the funeral service area. Was a member of Phi Theta Kappa, which is the 2-year college, Phi Beta. So I was very proud of that. I worked in funeral service. I was licensed in New Jersey until about 2 years ago because I kept up with my CEUs. When I moved to Florida for a while, I got my Florida license so I could work in there.
Would you do all those careers again?
The career I would do first, knowing now, would be funeral service from the start. And I love that. I loved working with the people. Everyone would say to me, how can you work with dead people? I said, wait a minute. Who am I working for? I'm working for the living. Yes, I handle babies. I've handled children. But I've got to work for you. You're the one that's hurting. So if I can do the best possible job and make your path down that road easier, that's what I got out of it. That was what I enjoyed doing, was helping the bereaved.
What advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self? What advice I would give to you is keep on learning. Regardless of what job you take, there's stair steps to get to the top of that job. If it means I mop floors, okay, well maybe next year I'll be in charge of the guy mopping the floors. And then maybe I'll be in charge of the entire company for the cleaning department. You always learn in life, and if something comes along and you're able to get that 4-year degree, work at it. And if you work hard enough and long enough, because remember, I went to school, back to college in my late 40s. And I studied and I got my A's and my B's. And the younger kids will say to me, Jen, do you have that business plan done? I had it finished because I had 6 weeks. Believe me, it took 6 weeks to write up a business plan. And I'd say, I left it at home because they were going to do it the night before. And there was no way you could do it, not to do your blueprints of your office and your staff and all of that. But just keep on learning. That's what I can tell them.
My name is Arnold Rankin, and I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
What was it like for you in Philadelphia growing up?
Well, I was just a little child, and then my mother moved us to Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Did you have any favorite games you liked to play as you were a kid?
The normal stuff. I'm trying to think now. Whoa. You know, just the normal games that the kids played at that time. Hopscotch, riding a bike, going to the boys club, and, you know, just a normal childhood.
Did you how was school with you? How was school for you? Did you make friends easily, or was it hard for you?
Yes, I made friends very easily in school. School was really nice. I think it's so much different now than when I went to school, which was a little while back.
As a follow-up question, what do you mean like it was different from now? What do you mean like when it was different from now?
Well, every time I turn around, like today, if it snows a half an inch, kids don't go to school for that day. When I was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, we had snow up to our waist, and we still went to school. We had fewer days off than they do now. It was much different, you know. But I understand that now a lot of the teachers and stuff live in the county, may live in the county or whatever, so it's a little bit different.
Was it hard for you to get through the snow on those days? Was it hard?
Well, I mean, we had to do it, so I mean, it was just normal for us to do it. So I'm just surprised at how today, when they get a little bit of snow and they cancel, it just seems like it's. I'm saying, you've got to be kidding, they're not going to have school today, you know, so it's different, but that's a sign of the times.
Did you like school than many other kids? Because
Well, yeah, I liked school. I thought school was a whole lot of fun. I think at first maybe I wasn't as serious about school as I should have been. You know, because I was all into having fun. Yeah.
Because a lot of kids at my school, they all say that they don't like school at all.
Well, I think they feel that way now because they have to go to school. But there's going to be days that they wish that they were back in school and the friendships that you made when you were in school and everything, they're going to wish that they were back there. But now it'll be time for them to work and be productive and do things like that.
Did you have a favorite like subject or anything in school?
Did
you have
I?
a favorite like subject or class in school?
I liked arithmetic. I liked English. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite sport when you were a kid?
Football. You know.
Did you have a favorite football team?
A favorite what?
Did you have a favorite football player on the football team?
Well, I think back then I just liked football. I didn't have a favorite player back then. No.
My favorite team right now is the Eagles. The Eagles.
Why the Eagles? Yeah, well, that's a Philadelphia team, you know, and like I say, that was my brother's favorite team, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so my daughter lives in Baltimore now, and she's a Ravens fan, and like I tell her, she tells me, Dad, when the Ravens are playing, don't call. I said, what? She said, when the Ravens are playing, don't bother calling. I'm saying, please. They're not paying you anything. But that's her team.
Did you usually pick teams based on where you were born?
Did I usually what?
Did you usually pick football teams like from where you were born?
No. But I just happen to like, I'm a Steeler fan. So, and like I told my daughter, I said, Alicia, you were born in Pennsylvania. How is it you went down to Baltimore and became a Ravens fan? But, you know, if you go to Baltimore, if you go down to Lexington Market, all you see is purple and black, purple and black. And I'm saying, please, it's not that serious. But, and then she tells me, Purple Friday and all that, and she's got on purple, I'm saying. But that's the way it is.
I just thought because my dad grew up in Oakland, California, and so he used to be a Raiders fan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so
yeah.
I thought that you would just choose a team based on where you were raised and born.
Well, I guess in a way, you know, like I told you, my brother, you know, he lived in Philadelphia all his life, so, and he was an Eagles fan, you know, and my, one of my sisters, she favored the Eagles too, you know, so, and I mean, the Eagles isn't a bad team, but I like the Steelers.
Did you ever try to play football? When you
Yeah,
were a kid?
I played football when I was in junior high. As I got older, I was doing other things. But yeah, I played football when I was in junior high.
Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun with it?
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Yes.
Did you have were you a good player in that football?
I'd say I was an average player. Yeah. But, you know, you just enjoy, either you enjoy the game or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah.
What position did you play?
I play guard and tackle.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you my last question for you is if you could go back in time and to your younger self, what advice would you give them?
If I could go back to my younger self, what?
What advice would you give them?
I would say if I could go back to my younger self, I would tell them to really think about some of the decisions that they make that may affect you in life later on down the line. Because I think a lot of times young people don't consider the decisions that they make now. And we have to think about that. And as you get older, you know, you see these things. So, yeah, that's what I would tell them. To really consider the decisions that you make may affect you all your life. And so you want to make wise decisions and get good counsel.
A follow-up question.
Okay.
Did you in college, well, like in junior high and like up to college, do you think you made like good decisions or average decisions?
Well, some of the times I don't think my decisions were so wise. And so that's why I say what I say now, that you have to consider, you know, the decisions that you make now may have an effect on your whole life. And so you want to make wise decisions.
Did you in college were you a good student?
Yeah. I did culinary arts, and so this is something that I wanted to do all my life, and like I did it later on in life, but I really enjoy doing that, and that helps me even now, you know. Yes.
My mom used to, in college, in high school, she used to be a really good artist, and she won a lot of medals, and she still has some of her paintings today.
Yeah, I mean, the things that you do in life really, well, some of those things will carry on into your adult life, and so, like, you want to do things that can really help you to be all that you can be. Yes.
Did you have like when you were in college, did you have like a dream job or something? Like,
Did I have a what?
Did you have like a dream job or something that you wanted to do?
Well, like I say, I always wanted to be a chef because I did cooking for a long time, but I always wanted to be a chef.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Did your like brothers and sisters like your cooking?
Yeah. I must say, I think I cook fairly well. Yeah.
Did you have like a favorite dish you would like to make?
Oh, I'm willing to try and make anything. You know, if I feel as though if you can read and follow directions, you can make it. And see, you have to have the confidence within yourself that you can do it. And more than likely you will. If you think that you can do it, you can do it. Yeah.
Are you a chef today, or do you have a job of cooking today?
Oh, well, now I'm retired.
Oh.
Yes. So now the only person I cook for is me or some of my friends. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name's Asia. What's your name?
Your name is what?
Asia.
Okay.
What's your name?
Grace.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Reading, Pennsylvania.
What was it like? Tell me what it was like as you were a child and what it was like growing up in Reading.
Well, I used to like to get down and visit my sister a lot in New Jersey. Had a lot of fun down there. Spent most of the summer there. When I was at home, we had our chores to do. We had our pets we had to take care of. And basically trying to be a kid.
Did you have a nickname when you were younger?
They used to call me Gracie, but I didn't like it.
Did you ever play an instrument?
No.
Did you have an interest of playing an instrument?
I thought I liked to play a violin at one time, but I never did.
What was your favorite food when you were a kid, and is
My
it still the
favorite
same?
food? It's a toughie. Well, I like chicken. And my mom used to make stewed tomatoes, and it was always hot from the heat. And we used to call that hot stuff. Because when we'd make that, it would burn our mouth. And I like basically almost anything, but I like chicken a lot.
Is it still your favorite food?
Yeah, I like that. That and fish.
How have you seen society change for better or for worse throughout your life?
How do I see it change? Some things for the better, some things for the worse. I don't want to get into politics.
What road event do you feel impacted you the most?
What event impacted me the most? I really don't know.
And
What message?
what career did you pursue, and would you do it again?
After I got out of school, I worked in sewing factories. I worked in it for a lot of years. Would I do it again? No. I sew at home, but not in the sewing factory anymore. It's a lot of tension, a lot of stress. You have to make your quota for the end of the day. And if you don't make your quota, they give you so long to do it. And if you don't make it, you're out the door. And it's a lot of tension to sit there and sew. And after I was married, I babysat children for 16 long years in my home. Raising my own plus babysitting.
What advice would you give your younger self?
One thing, stay off of drugs, finish high school, and if you can, go to college, and just be a good kid. Have fun, but be a good kid.
My name is Era Galindo.
Okay. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Puerto Rico on January 11, 1950. And I grew the most of my years over there in Puerto Rico, in Cabo Rojo, Puerto Rico. And I came down here on September 21st, 1964.
Okay.
Ever since I've been here. Not right here, but I was living first in New Jersey. I had my kids in New Jersey. All of them, I have 5 kids. My older daughter is Mary Sanchez. My son, Carlos Lopez. My other son, Eric Mantilla. My other daughter, Susan Mantilla. And my son, the barber, Isaac Mantilla. He has his business right here in Pine Street and in George Street.
Oh, you seem to have a lot of kids.
Yes.
Did you have a favorite sport when you were a kid?
Gee, no, I don't really like sports.
Oh, that's okay. What was it like when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, well, it was kind of good and kind of bad because my father, he used to drink a lot.
Oh.
And living with him and my mother, it wasn't really good because there was always arguing and stuff like that. So it wasn't really a good childhood.
If you could tell your younger self advice, what would you say?
If I could advise myself,
If you could tell your younger self advice, what would you say?
well, at this time, since I lived enough I'm gonna be 70 years soon. So since I live enough, I will tell the young people to stay in school, first of all, look for God, second of all, and try to do the best of what you decided to be, whatever career you want to take. That will be my best advice to them. And stay away from bad influences, because right now there's a lot of bad influences, and there's a lot of drugs and stuff that the kids are trying, and that's not good for them. That's not a good life, you know?
Yeah.
So that will be my advice. Stay away from the drugs.
Well, that's a good way to put it.
Yes?
Did you like any inside games?
What do you mean inside game?
Like board games?
Oh, I do a lot of dominoes. We play bingo here. Yeah, I like those kind of games and stuff like that.
Oh. My favorite is like Monopoly and all these other new games. But did you have a specific... What was your favorite toy when you were a kid?
Oh, dolls. A lot of dolls. Yes, I had a lot of dolls. Collectible dolls, all kind of dolls.
Well, what was your goal when you were a kid?
To tell you the truth, I never figured that I needed to have a goal. I never had a goal or something.
Oh.
I never did.
Okay. Did you when you saw other people, do you think you wanted to look like them?
No, not really. I like to be myself.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
Yeah.
Would you get in trouble a lot when you were a kid, or would you be like a good kid?
Well, I used to get in a lot of trouble with my mom, because when I used to want something and she didn't get it, for me, I used to get angry. But that's about it. I never had fights with my friends or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was like a quiet person.
For me and my brother, it's kind of hard for us to get along because we argue a lot. I kind of wish that we could get along more and act better to each other.
Yeah, that's the best thing, to get along one another. I have five brothers. I had brothers. I was the only girl in the family. So it was kind of hard for me to get along with my brothers, but we never fought. We never argued for anything.
Well, I have three brothers.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like I am the only one who's the good one, because every time I'm with my brothers, they're always getting into trouble.
They always get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there's a lot of siblings, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens when there's a lot of siblings. My 5 kids, they never fought like that. Because one of my daughters, she was the smartest. She's very smart. Right now, she's an administrator in a school in Boston, Massachusetts. She's the head. She got the head, you know?
Yeah.
And my other son, he went through a lot because he didn't follow when you tell your kids don't do this and don't do that, and they want to go their way, that's what happened, So he got into a little problem, and my other son, he's very good. He was sick a lot when he was small, but right now he got his wife and he's doing fine. And my other daughter, she's in New Jersey. She got 2 kids, and she's okay. They didn't fight like siblings does.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Did you have when you had kids? Did you have outside? Did you have playgrounds outside, like a swing set?
No.
Did you,
I don't remember that.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that.
What was it like when you were coming to America?
Well, the reason we came to America was because, like I told you before, my father and my mother fighting a lot. So she had a brother here in United States, and she wrote to her brother that if he could send her the tickets to come down here because she couldn't get too well along with my father, and she probably would kill him or he would kill her because there were really, really big arguments. So he sent her the tickets and we came down here.
Were you scared?
No, I was 14 years old already when I came to the United States.
Were you scared to make friends?
I was shy
Oh,
because I didn't know English.
yeah.
I was shy a little bit, but then, I grew along with them and I got used to it. So now I'm a happy person, even over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, over here I'm doing stuff for the people and, I like it. I enjoy being with them.
Okay.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Jill Little, and originally I'm from Canton, Ohio. That's where I was born and raised, but now I live in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
What brought you out from Ohio?
Well, I was married for the second time to the same person, and we decided the problem with our marriage was interference from our families. So we packed everything up and moved to Baltimore first, and then I got married again, and he lived in Gettysburg, and at the time I was living in Westminster, so we met halfway and moved to Hanover.
Nice. What was it like when you were growing up?
Well, we lived in suburbia, and my family was very poor, so we didn't have a lot, that's for sure.
What was one of the best things that came out of you not having a lot?
Well, I think I appreciate things more, and that's it. I have empathy for the people that don't have. So.
That's nice. How have you seen society change over your lifetime?
Well, I think it has gotten worse, obviously. It used to be that, everybody would wave at their neighbors and everybody knew their neighbors and things like that. People are standoffish now, and nobody really wants to help you. They say, oh, ask for help. Yeah, well, nobody wants to help you. It's a different society, and as I get older, they think of me as a grumpy old lady instead of, a real person that has opinions and ideas and, knows what they want.
That's interesting. And how do you think that there'd be any way to make it better from what it is now?
Well, I think that starts in childhood with the children that are coming up. If you don't raise them correctly, if you don't teach them values, don't give them everything they want, you're a lot better off, and they turn out to be a better person.
What world event do you think impacted you the most?
I think the Vietnam War, because at that time, a lot of the boys that I went to school with had to go to war, and some of them didn't come back. It made me realize that life is short. You can go at any time.
Wow. What career did you choose? Would you do it again, and why did you choose that career?
Well, at first, when I graduated, I had a scholarship to an art college, but my parents wouldn't let me go because they didn't think I was worldly enough to handle it. Which I probably wasn't. So since I was typing in high school 100 words a minute without a mistake, I got a job as a typist. And I did that, and then I just sort of progressed through different jobs, clerical type jobs. Then I graduated into being an administrative assistant, an executive assistant, and so forth. the best job I ever had. I was a meeting planner. And how I got the job is we had a meeting planner where I worked. It was a multi-million-dollar company. We had a meeting planner there. And I knew she would never leave. I just had it in my mind she would never leave. But I rode her coattails. I did, anything I could to help her, I would hurry up and do my own work. And then I'd say, can I help you in any way? And so I learned her job. And, in my mind, I kept saying, if I could only get this job, if I could only have a job like hers. And lo and behold, she left to start her own business. And since I was the only one that knew the job, they put me in the job. And I traveled all over the world setting up social functions and meetings all over the world. It was fabulous. It was fabulous.
Was there any specific one that you got to plan that sticks in your mind?
Well, yes, that would be the one in Williamsburg, Virginia. They wanted to, people were coming from all over the United States for this meeting. So we had to, first I had to coordinate so that the board of directors for one group was not all riding in the same airplane. So I had to juggle all that around. That was interesting. Then they wanted to have a ball where they dressed in colonial costumes. Well, Williamsburg does not allow you to have colonial costumes of theirs. So I had to go to a theatrical company in New York and get gowns and, the men's clothing and so forth. So before I did that, I said, I need everybody's sizes and measurements. Oh, yes. Oh, no. We got to Williamsburg. I'm telling you, the dresses were like that far apart. So then I had to hire seamstresses to come in. We only had like 2 days. They had to try to find material that would match these gowns and then sew an insert in the gowns. It was unbelievable. Anything that could have happened, anything nasty that could have happened, happened. The main water main broke in Williamsburg. There was no coffee. Personally, I was in the shower when it happened and had my hair all soaped up. And I had to call for my boss's wife to come with leftover water from drinks the night before and pour it over my head so I could get the soap out of my hair. It was just a big nightmare. But everybody was happy and, turned out to be successful, even though I had all these things thrown in my path.
Wow, that's quite the story. Would you still do that job again despite all the problems?
I would if I was younger, but it took a toll on me. The last board tour that I did, I ended up in the hospital when it was over because I was just totally exhausted, But it was fabulous. It was so fabulous. And when you go to these venues to scope them out for your meetings, they treat you like royalty. I had been on the road so much that I needed to have some clothes washed. I came back to my room. They had my underwear in a box tied with a pink ribbon. I was like, what? It was amazing. And then after all that's over, then you have to come back to the real world. It was tough.
That is neat. Have you ever played an instrument?
No.
Would you have any interest in playing an instrument?
No, I do have a kazoo that I carry with me at all times, but other than that.
That's fun. And what advice would you give to your younger self or to someone else growing up today?
Decide what you want to do and just hone in on that and do whatever it takes, because I knew I would never have that meeting planner job. I just knew it. But I wanted it so bad, and I just did everything in my power, and it worked out. It was amazing. So if you want something bad enough, they say whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe he can achieve. I believe that.
My first question for you is where were you born?
¿Dónde tú naciste? En Santo Domingo, la República Dominicana. Habla un poquito más alto. Santo Domingo. She was born in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic.
How was it for you growing up as a kid?
¿Cómo te pasó a ti nacer y criarte allá? ¿Cómo fue tu vida criarte allá?
Regular.
She says regular.
Mucho trabajo.
Too much work.
What kind of work did you do as a kid?
¿Qué clase de trabajo tú hacías allá?
Allá, limpiando casa,
Cleaning houses,
cosiendo,
sewing,
trabajando en cosas de cigarro, tabaco,
working in the tobacco company,
lavando y planchando.
washing and ironing clothes.
Did learning those traits as a child help you now?
What was the question?
Helping her learning those skills as a child help her now.
O que si habiendo aprendido todas esas cosas que tú aprendiste cuando joven, que si te han ayudado a ti ahora. Esas cosas de lavar, planchar, cocinar.
Que si me ayudaba.
Sí,
ahora.
que si te ayudaba en tu vejez. Aquí, trabajando, que si esa clase de trabajo te ayudó para criarte. Yes.
Sí.
Did you go to school as a kid?
Que si tú fuiste a la escuela.
Sí.
Yes.
Was it fun for you, and did you have a favorite subject as a kid?
Que si fue bueno para ti, si tú tenías alguna especialidad.
Bueno.
Yes.
Did you have
¿Tenías alguna especialidad? Algo de la escuela que te gustaba más que otra cosa. ¿Qué?
Me gustaba matemática y eso.
She liked the math.
Was it did you have fun? Was it fun for you in math? Did you
Que si te gustaba, te daba alegría hacer matemática.
Sí.
Yes.
Did you have a favorite hobby or something that you did as a kid?
Que si tú tenías una cosa especial que a ti te gustaba hacer. Algo especial que a ti te gustaba hacer.
Sí.
Pero dile qué tienes que decir qué.
Como especial, ¿cómo?
Pues suponer que si tú cosías y a ti te gustaba la costura.
Sí.
Yeah, she liked sewing clothes. And she liked cutting hair too.
Y de pelo.
Ya le dije de pelo.
Did you sew some like your brothers and sisters broken
Que
shirts
si
and
tú le
stuff?
cosías a tus hermanos y tus hermanas.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you Did you do your hair and also other people's
Que si
hair?
tú te haces tu cabello o a otras personas.
A otra persona y yo también.
Yeah, she likes to do her hair and other people she used to do hair.
Explain what she likes about it.
What do you like about doing your hair?
¿Qué te gusta de hacerte tu pelo?
¿Qué me gusta?
¿Por qué te gusta?
Porque sí, error y cosas me gusta.
She said she make her rollers on her hair and she straighten her hair.
Did other people like it?
Que si a otra persona le gusta cuando tú le haces el pelo.
Yes.
If you could go back in time to your younger self, what advice would you give them?
Que si tú volvieras a ser joven, ¿qué consejo tú le darías a la juventud de ahora?
Que trabajen como yo trabajé.
To work like she did. ¿Qué más?
Eso, y que sean educados, que le pongan asunto a la clase.
Que be educated, pay attention to your classes.
Que respeten los demás.
To respect the older.
Que seamos uno al otro.
To get along each other. Get along.
Did you have any conflict with your brothers and sisters?
Que si tú tenías conflicto con tus hermanas y tus hermanos cuando pequeñas. No.
Did you, when you were growing up, did you have any dream jobs or something you would want to do when you grew up?
Que si tú tenías algo que cuando eras joven que te hubiera gustado hacer ahora que estás mayor.
Sí, me gustaría hacer.
¿Qué?
Cuidar personas.
Oh, she would like to take care of elderly people. She used to do that before.
What did you like about it? What made it so exciting?
¿Qué era lo que te gustaba de cuidar a los ancianos?
Porque sí, porque me gusta cuidar a los ancianos, porque yo hago más liga con la gente ancianos más que con la juventud antes.
She says that she gets along better with the older people now than with the younger people then.
Did you have any favorite toys or things to play with when
Si
you
tú
were a kid?
tenías juguetes favoritos cuando eras pequeña.
Juguete.
Sí. No.
Did you have any like outside or games you would play like hopscotch or something?
Si tú jugabas con juegos que afuera de la casa. No.
My name is Stanley Kessler, and I'm from Spring Grove, Pennsylvania.
Nice. Have you always lived here?
Yes, been here for 73 years now.
That is neat. And where did you grow up, and what was it like when you were a child?
Well, I grew up in the Spring Grove area, and a lot has changed since I was a child till now. Everything's so modernized, and it's a big difference.
What do you think is the biggest difference besides technology, maybe?
Well, the prices for one thing, and like you say, technology it just changes every month, and it's really senior citizens. It's hard to keep up with that.
Yeah. So how have you seen society change for better or for worse throughout your life?
Yeah, that's a difficult question there. I think for some aspects it's better, and some it has not. So.
For you, what do you think as far as what you have seen for your particular situation?
Let's see. Jobs for one thing. When I was growing up, jobs were so easy to come by. You could go in and you needed a high school education. Now you need a degree, basically, and it's very, very difficult to get a job these days without a degree.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I was trying to figure out what I want to do. So, what world event do you feel impacted you the most, and how has it specifically impacted your life?
Well, the Vietnam War has impacted my life greatly. Before that, I really didn't care about too much of anything, about other people or anything. After that, it has changed my life dramatically.
What was the hardest thing about going through the Vietnam War?
The hardest thing was leaving my family. When I left for Vietnam, when I said goodbye to my parents, I never thought about it, but when I got into my other friends and to my other soldiers, I thought, I might not ever see them again. And that was difficult to deal with.
That must be really scary, having to go through that. So what career did you pursue, and would you do it again?
Well, actually, I started down here at PH Glatfelter's, but that worked 7 days a week, and it wasn't for me. And I went into Alice Chalmers as a first-class assembler, which is what I liked. Now, assembly and welding and everything like that. So.
Neat. And what advice would you give to your younger self?
The advice I would give to the younger generation is do as much as you can. Education is very important, very important.
My name is James, last name too? James Gelser. I'm originally from Hardyville, South Carolina.
What was it like for you when you were a kid? What was it like for you when you were a kid?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I had fun. I had a lot of friends.
Did you enjoy school?
Yeah,
Did you have like a favorite subject and stuff?
history.
Did you have like what did you most learn about in history?
Well, it was how America was built and who did the inventions of everything.
When you first started learning about the history, was it interesting to you at first, or did you start off not really liking it?
It was interesting. Wow.
Did you have any favorite sports when you were a kid?
Yes, football and basketball.
Do you have a favorite football or basketball team?
Favorite football team is the Carolina Panthers. Favorite basketball team, I don't have any right now.
the Carolina Panthers your favorite football team when you were growing up?
No, they weren't around then.
Okay. How did you get friends easily, or was it hard for you to get a lot of friends?
No, it wasn't hard for me to make a lot of friends because in school and out of school, because there was a lot of young guys around my age lived in my neighborhood and around my neighborhood.
Did you have like a best friend or something that you hanged out most with?
I hung out with just about everybody. Really, there wasn't no best friend because everybody was my best friend. Put it that way.
Did you when you said you liked football? Did you end up like playing in high school or anything?
I started out practicing and stuff as a first string center, but by being in South Carolina, my birth certificate wasn't up here, so I didn't get a chance to play.
Okay. Did you when did you actually move here?
When I was 5 years old.
Were you scared, or were you happy, excited?
I wasn't scared, but I don't know about being happy or excited because my mother and father brought me up here, so I didn't know anything.
Were you sad when you had to leave your friends or anything?
No, because most of my brothers and sisters my oldest brother, he's a lot older than me, and we moved up here into his house. But all my brothers and sisters are older than me, so I never got a chance to play with them that much because they were always gone or whatever.
Did you have have conflict or fight with them all the time? Or?
No.
Did you when you were in high school, did you have any favorite goals or anything you wanted to reach when you were in high school?
No, because after I couldn't play football, I ended up working at around 13 years old in a restaurant downtown, and I stayed there until I went to senior high school, and then I just started working at the York Hospital.
When you were, did you make good decisions when you were a kid? When you were in high school, do you think you made average decisions?
Some of the decisions I made were, I wish I could go back and I could do a lot better than what I did.
My next question for you is, if you could go back, what advice would you give yourself?
To stay focused in school, and I can't say I was a bad kid, so I can't say do better, but I could have done better.
Did your mom have to talk to you a lot?
No.
Were you the youngest? Are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest out of all of us.
Did they used to pick on you, or you were just pretty much alone?
They had a nickname for me or whatever, but no, my sisters and brothers never picked at me.
Were you well known in high school?
I guess I was. I say I was known, but I wouldn't say well known.
Did you used to play bingo and other games like pool or bingo?
Yeah.
Did you which one of those two was your favorite?
Pool.
Do you still remember how to play pool?
I'm rusty, but I could play.
Did you join any tournaments of pools, or were you good? Were you a good player at pool against other people?
No, I wasn't all that good, but after I got married, I had a pool table in my basement, and I would practice on it.
Did you use some of your like choices in high school, like as an adult now?
No. No, I didn't.
Did you have a favorite job you did in high school?
Favorite job in high school?
Yeah.
Well, York Hospital. When I worked at the York Hospital.
What were you? Were you like a nurse?
Dish boy. Dish boy, and then food service tray. We loaded them, and then we took them up on the floors and come back and do the same thing.
So the Friends Project, it's a bunch of us students interviewing seniors and really trying to figure out mainly what would they tell their younger self, but also teaching us interviewing skills as well as just connecting us with other seniors.
I've interviewed a lot of different seniors with different personalities, and I learned what they did when they grew up and I learned a lot about their education. I learned how to use a camera, learned how to make videos. I learned how to talk to people, because I am a very shy person, or I used to be. But I really like doing it.
When mommy first told me that I was doing it, I was confused by what she meant by interview. But then she explained it to me, and I watched the video of the boys, and I understood what you meant. It helped me get to know other people.
A lot of them talked about education, and some of them said that they wanted to act differently and change their attitude when they grow up.
I learned that some people made mistakes that they wish they wouldn't have, and that now they had somebody to tell them not to do that, they probably wouldn't have. And most of them wished that someone had told them that.
I think I learned more about them and their personality and how they would act when they were younger and what they would do.
What stuck out to me from the interviews in general is a lot of people valued education, and I thought that was interesting.
It will help my education because it helped my communication skills, because I have a problem talking to people and looking them in the eye and not staying focused on them and not looking around.
It's kind of like school. I'm educating myself to become better when I get older.
It was really interesting to learn interviewing skills, and I think that can be useful just in conversation or talking to people or interviewing if you had to do it in the future. And so I think that could definitely benefit my education or future job. And then I really enjoyed it, just being able to talk to different people and figuring out that I do enjoy finding out what people think.
Well, it would help me try to have a better attitude towards people and to study hard in school. This should become my job.